Hi empaths, welcome back to my channel and back to Journey Through the Tarot. We're talking about our week with the Knight of Pentacles and introducing the history, symbolism, and divination of the Queen of Pentacles. This journey is inspired by Dirty and Divine, a transformative journey through Tarot by Alice B. Grist. She spent a day with each card. We're doing a week. We're getting a lot of our information from one of my tarot teachers, Robert M. Place, and his book, The Tarot, History, Symbolism, and Divination. We're using the Waite-Smith symbolism of the Rider Tarot deck. Looks like this. If you need any of those items, they're available in my Amazon store, linked in the description. So let's talk about our week with the Knight of Pentacles. And this was a really interesting week. If you recall the meaning of the Knight, Jupiter is represented in this card, which is a planet of expansion and good fortune. And this is a slow moving night, the slowest moving night, almost to a standstill. It's about planting. This night is off to plant this pentacle, right? Plant a seed, put in the work, know when to rest, know when to play, right? This balance here, which is represented by the horse. It can also be searching for a new job or source of employment or compensation. What else could it be? Thoughtful, methodical, analytical, maybe even overthinking, progress toward movement, but snail's pace, utility, serviceableness, interest, rectitude, responsibility, trust that change has a way of bringing itself without your interference. This night is a fruitful, youthful representation, very gritty and real character. Commit yourself to growth, plant your seeds and commit yourself to the growth. And this week I did feel more momentum, right? When the Knight comes in after the page is sort of the insight, right? The idea, the vision. And then the Knight brings in movement, action, momentum starts building in a certain direction. And with the Pentacles, we're looking at the material world. We're looking at finances, certainly as the original suit was coins, and this is about the earth element. So looking at the material world, and earth, of course, moves the slowest, right? Thinking about how much time it takes to move a mountain. It will move, but very slowly over time. And also thinking of working with stone or something like that, chiseling through, it takes a lot of precision, a lot of time, consistency. So that's the kind of movement we're looking at. Precision, consistency, constancy, not giving up. And I noticed that a lot this week, where I might normally take things as a sign that I should go in another direction or just give up. And I'm not a quitter, really. I would stick things out. Like, I followed through on this journey. I have a tendency to stick things out. I have a very earth style to me, that constancy, maybe slower moving than comparatively to other people, but still willing to see things through and put in the effort. A couple of things happened. At work, I was looking at all the resources that I had that were being offered to me and deciding, one of the things last month was Mental Health Awareness Month, May was, and part of our resources that we were given at work were, I think, 6 free sessions with a mental health practitioner, which is huge because the insurance that I have for work, the copay is still really high. And so it's still not really something that is all that affordable. So I thought, let me sign up for this and schedule that in. So I booked a session for today at 1 p.m. and there was like a fee if you didn't show up, if you were a no call, no show. So I made sure I was on there, and it was some confusion about the scheduling. It looked like the practitioner that I had signed up with, or the therapist I had signed up with, scheduled another session for next week at like 8:30 in the morning, and that's just not really a great time for me to do that kind of work. So I let her. I took a screenshot of the fact that I showed up and I was waiting. It was like a virtual session, and that I was waiting, and then sent a message and said, please make sure I'm not charged any sort of penalty fee, or if I'm booked for future sessions, please do cancel those, because I don't want to spend any more time doing this. So I did end up saying, okay, that's probably not the right match for me. And it's probably for the best, because when I was going to schedule, I had these things I wanted to work on specifically, and then there was no availability. And so I took all I kept removing the different filters that I had put up until it was basically whatever I can get, right? Just general, whoever's available. And so she was really the only therapist available, so I didn't feel great about that to begin with, and I just don't want to waste my time. So I sat there waiting in case she was running late, and it was just a waste of my time, and I just didn't appreciate that. So and I didn't receive a message letting me know, so I was already annoyed. But I still knew that I wanted to work with somebody. So I found someone who works with the IFS model of healing, which is what I'm currently studying in more depth. One of the things I'm studying, and I want to be a better practitioner, and I know doing this session work yourself, like receiving it, makes you better at the work. So I reached out to someone there, and who had a sliding scale fee, which was really nice. So I reached out, and I haven't heard back yet, but I feel really good about that, because I had been wanting to find an IFS practitioner. So this one was affordable, and I really believe in that system of healing. So I feel really good about that. I also, if you recall, I think it was last week I talked about having reached out, maybe it was a couple weeks ago, having reached out to a family member asking if they want to do an energy exchange, like do exchange healing work on each other, and kind of got the brush off a little bit, which is fine. Like, I totally understand not everyone is interested in doing that kind of thing. And normally I'd be like, maybe go into victim mode, like I don't have any resources or whatever. But then I was like, just set that up with your friend from New York who's all about that stuff. And so we did, and even though the schedule was a little wonky, we made time last night to exchange, and it was a great exchange. It felt really great. She did vortex healing on me, and I did some meditation and alchemy work with her, and it was really great. So that felt really good, and we're going to do more of that. And we both have a lot of different modalities we can practice on each other. So I'm really happy about that, setting that up, finding the resources, right? And building momentum with my wellness and well-being, which is really important, and then getting to practice. So that's a really practical application of my time and energy And the modalities that I'm working with, I get to practice with somebody who can actually provide results, right? What result they're receiving from the work. So that was really good. So I felt like that was progress. And I went to the gym, which is really a really funny story. I went to the gym and for the first time in a while, because I had just been walking outside, but I was like, let's build some muscle. Like, I always feel good when I'm building, changing the shape of my body by muscle training. So I did that. And then I went, after doing the muscle toning work, I went to my locker to just get some water that I had brought. And I usually leave my water in the locker. So I went to grab it and I could not get my lock open. Like, I kept trying. And I was always afraid I might forget the combination, but I know I didn't forget the combination. I think it's just that lock is so old. I think I first got that lock when I was going to the gym. I was living in Jackson Heights, Queens, and I was going to the gym. So that must have been like 15 years ago, something like that. It was a very old lock, served its purpose. And I guess it was just stuck. So I had to ask someone at the gym to help me. I was like, I'm sorry, I have a weird problem. My lock won't open. And so she tried the combination and saw that it was starting to open. It was stuck. And so she had to get the lock cutter. And I had never seen someone do that before. It took a lot of strength to do it. But she cut that lock off and just kind of took it. But I was like, thank you so much. And so I just left after that. I didn't do my cardio. Instead, I came home and I walked outside. So that was a great combination of gym, but also getting sunlight and fresh air and not being too peopled out. And it was interesting, the timing when I was walking. One of my neighbors who walks his black lab was walking too, right in front of me. It seemed like he came out of nowhere, but because I hadn't seen him crossing the highway or even walking ahead of me, so I'm not sure how he got there, but it's like he came out of nowhere. But that was cool. It felt like that was cool timing to see him walking. And we're always friendly to each other and wave when we see each other walking and stuff like that. And it was torture. Like, I felt like I had been trying to walk in the mornings before work to get my energy levels up. And in doing so, never had enough time to really finish the walk. So it was like not in my muscle memory to finish it. But today I just kept pushing through until I was done. And I did get a little bit of a headache because of the heat and all of that. But I'm really glad I completed that. And I had a really great talk with my spiritual sister, Krista. We talked about all kinds of things. We hadn't really had, time where we really sat and connected, made time to talk to each other in a long time. And we talked about different things. And I was talking to her about, feeling a little lost and wanting to really settle on something, and talking about, her connection to crystals really sparked how connected I feel to the cards and the symbolism and the art, and that and just the fact that I had the staying power to work through all the cards, right? After the queen is the king, and then the journey's complete. I definitely sort of felt like the fool today walking, right? Because it's the fool's journey through these cards, and feeling like the sun at the back of my head and feeling the wind. That came to my mind, like the Fool card, walking through. And I talked to her about how archetypes were coming into my session work, and using alchemy and energy healing, all the things that I've studied and worked with, in addition to the Radiant Human meditation that I'm currently studying. And it was interesting working with someone who, this exchange that I'm doing, who had never experienced Radiant Human meditation before. And that's a system developed by my mentor, Shelley Poovey of Body Attune. She developed this breathwork meditation, really amazing work, really powerful. And I was guiding my friend who was having some trouble staying the course and the staying in sequence. And she said, wait, I lost where we're at. And part of me felt really insecure, like, oh, I didn't guide her properly. But then she let me know, like, well, I was losing consciousness. Like, I kept falling asleep and going really deep. And I was like, that's to be expected. That means you're doing it right, because it is hypnotic and it is down regulating to the nervous system. And so I do find that people that have her similar temperament and mental patterns tend to go deeper and kind of feel like they're falling asleep. So I have noticed that a lot, and I just let her know it's okay, just pick it up. But it made me feel a little insecure, like I didn't know how to lead people that had never done it before. But I just had to remind myself, maybe ask Shelley about a preamble. If she ever does a preamble with people, since it is hypnotic, does she talk about that you might go deep and kind of lose track, and it's okay, it's a perfect process. So I think I might ask her about that in our practice session tomorrow. I've been keeping up with all the practice sessions and showing up, and I feel really good about that commitment too. And just staying the course, and I finished up one of the months of the IFS training I was in today, which was kind of the basics that I already knew, but I did learn little tidbits here and there, studying with these master trainers, master teachers of the system, and it really inspired me. Tonight I also talked to two of my best friends from musical theater conservatory, and we were just catching up and talking about the arts, and we were roommates for a time, and it was so much fun. We made fun of each other and laughed and talked about serious topics too, about things that were going on. They're both actors. They're both working actors. One is currently on Broadway in the Broadway community, and my other friend is successful performer in Florida, like the Hollywood, Florida area. And we were just talking about that, and I had just watched the Friends reunion with my family over Memorial Day weekend with my parents, and I remember watching Friends with them growing up, and that feeling like it was something we did together and it bonded us. And watching the reunion together was a lot of fun, just kind of remembering what that felt like, and re-inspired me as an actor. And studying the IFS model makes me feel like that could be developed into a system for actors. The more I understood psychology and the way the mind works, and the way consciousness works, and our attention, the better of an actor I became, the better performer. Working with meditation even helped me, learning the sphere of awareness, and that helped me with performing songs, right? Where am I putting my attention and focus? And that really helps you channel that energy that's coming at you, So I was talking to my friend about that, and that it just feels so inspiring, and and feeling. And I also today watched in the morning when I was getting ready, I put on Lisa Kudrow was, I guess, recently on Conan's show on TBS, Conan O'Brien, and they were talking about how they met in an improv class, and I just thought that was so cool, and that reminded me of like the improv classes I was in, and I just felt so sparked by that. Like it just re-inspired me. Sometimes like studying healing work and working with people in a healing capacity can be kind of a downer sometimes, you know. And I miss doing comedy and performing, and that just is what sparks me personally. That's what makes me feel alive. So, and I'm just so inspired by artists and actors and musicians, and so thinking about the tarot, it's also very artistic, right? This is art. So, and I talked to my friend Krista about that too, about developing a system and a program about working with the cards for alchemy and healing and manifestation. And I definitely feel like that's something that I'm gonna invest in too. I think that would be a good investment to set up something that's more structured to help people have the same experience that I'm having. To kind of understand how to use them and maybe make more sense of the archetype work and why that works, and why archetype is such a powerful thing for someone to work with. What does that do for you? You know, all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else this week. Walking, I walk near like this line of pine trees, and just observing them and realizing, you know, when I was walking and I felt like the fool with the sun behind me, and feeling like I was ready to make a fresh start in a way. And right, almost, because we're almost through the entire Pentacle suit, and then it repeats, right? The Fool has now integrated all those lessons and takes the next trusted step, you know, in the next journey, the next leg of the journey, trusting that they've integrated the wisdom with the sun behind them. That kind of represents all of the wisdom that they have processed and integrated, and they are taking that next step, that next leap of faith. So that's really inspiring. I definitely feel like I drove a lot this week, which I thought about the knight, because the knight's on his horse, right? So a lot of driving, and which sounds odd, but I don't do a lot of that. I don't do a lot of driving around because I work from home. So, but I did a lot of that this week. Yeah, and I talked to a few friends who had stated that they were going through really rough times right now, or had just come out of it, and I know I did as well. And feeling like really dark feelings and having dark thoughts, and I could really relate to that. We are looking at like a dark horse here, which can be a representation of something And finding out that someone that I had worked with and done a program, a sound and music program with, had passed away. And he was so young, and he was such a cool person, such a great person. I remember when I first saw him, something drew me to him. I wanted to talk to him, and he was polite and quiet and kind of an observer type, and I really related to that because I feel like that's me a lot of times. And I remember when I first saw him in the Sound of Music program, I went over and I introduced myself and I said, "Hi, my name is Rachel. It's really nice to meet you. So what brings you to this program?" And I just felt like drawn to him for some reason, because I'm not really like that. That's not really my personality. I'm not that outgoing. And I just said, I always like to, I know how hard it is to, like, I forget what I said. I said something really awkward about how I know what it feels like to be sitting alone. And so sometimes I just like to talk to people that are sitting alone, because I know how that can feel. Not that you didn't feel perfectly secure sitting here by yourself. Like, I just made it awkward, but he laughed it off and thought it was funny that I was being awkward. So I always really appreciated him. He always silently, but would like support things I was doing. Like when I started the podcast, he followed me right away. And, you know, just little gestures like that, like not having to get an invite or anything, just being supportive. And his opinion mattered. You know, I thought he was a very smart person. I remember talking to him about one of our teachers, John Beaulieu, who he was in, he spent like a week in a echo chamber is what it's called. I can't remember, but when you go in, it's silent. It's so quiet, but you can hear like you can hear your own heart beating and stuff. And he said he was in there for a week, and I just remember him talking with such fascination about that. And I found out that he passed away, and I'm not sure why. It was alluded to that he had taken his own life, and I don't know if that's true, but I felt very sad about that. And of course, you know, sending energy and prayers to his family and loved ones. That's never easy to go through. And I'm sure he felt he was taking his pain away. I don't know what he was going through, or if that even is what happened, but hearing that was very, very jarring, like, because it made me think about the times where I felt that low, you know, and I thought about that and I guess you don't consider the impact you're having by being here, you know, and maybe, I'm not sure if that would make a difference, you know, but I know for me, sometimes it gets dark and I feel like, what is this? What's even the point? And, you know, you feel disconnected, you feel separated. And I know that it's that part of you that thinks it's taking your pain away, that thinks that would take a pain away. But I don't believe that's the solution. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about right now. It's really late. But I just wanted to touch on that and express that in this video, mostly for myself, so I could just remember that the timing of this. And Alice B. Grist described this card as like young men going out, you know, to earn money, finding their first jobs, even if it's just to take care of themselves, you know, that first leaving college, leaving school, and trying to make it, right? And he came to mind when I revisited that before filming this. I was thinking of him, what he must have been going through. I don't know. As I said, I'm not sure what happened, but I wish him peace for sure. Well, I don't know where to take it from there. And talking to my friends, we talked a lot about our times at school and how my friend really put it eloquently, saying like we were kind of under a spell, just kind of accepting certain treatment and expectations and phrases, even like starving artists, and, you know, being shamed for not fitting into costumes when the costumes weren't made for us. And like, why not consider what's the replaceable element here? Like, why should my body conform to fit your costume? Can't you take it out or find something else? Like, just interesting things like that. And he's also in the Broadway community, and they're working on improving you know, equality and treatment of minorities and all people. So he's taking up space and using his voice in that way, and it makes him feel very like fortunate about the timing of his success there. And I'm so proud of him. Like, it just gives me this proud feeling. And I just really enjoyed connecting with both of them tonight. So that was really nice. And they both had dogs, and I didn't have an animal. So that made me sad. But my best friend has I guess his dog is part black lab. He's also part pit bull, but he's so cute. He's so cute. He's that color. And I feel like I'm just droning on and on now, but that was basically it for the week. Just noticing that I have more follow through. I didn't give up on certain things that I would have said, well, I guess that I'm not meant to have any kind of energy exchange right now. Instead, I found another place, right? I just took it as a redirection instead of a rejection or a no from the universe. And same with finding a therapist. I found someone else instead. I said, okay, well that didn't work, but I'll find something else, and I'll find something affordable, and I'm going to make it work for myself. So, and I went to the gym and got that first layer of muscle, which is the most important one, right? That first workout back is the hardest one, but once you get into the routine of it, you start really seeing the results and feeling good about that. And I was just watching other people's journeys with their health and weight loss and stuff on YouTube, and getting inspired by that, and just feeling like I want to feel fit again. And like I have felt like I haven't been doing enough in that area. And so I'm ready to up my game there and take better care. So yeah, that felt like a good week. I was thinking of maybe going another week with the Knight of Pentacles, but I'm ready to move into the Queen. So let's do it. So according to Robert M. Place, the Queen sits on her throne in a flowering field under a rose arbor on a hillside by a stream. There is a red rabbit, the messenger from the earth, in the right foreground. The upholstery that covers the queen's seat and back is decorated with pears, and there are leaves and a flower on her crown. There is a goat's head on the arm of her chair and cherubic figures with horns, and goat's legs are carved on the upper back and side of the throne. These are gnomes, the elementals of earth. The queen holds her pentacle gently in her lap and tilts her head to admire it. She has wealth and she appreciates it. The queen looks at herself as the caretaker of her possessions instead of their owner. I love that. The caretaker instead of the owner. And then what might it mean if this card shows up in a spread for divinatory purposes? Earth sign, nurturing energy, has built her empire, successful businesswoman, ultimate hostess, abundant mother, accomplished, practical. The face suggests that of a dark woman whose qualities might be summed up in the idea of greatness of soul. She has also the serious cast of intelligence. She contemplates her symbol and may see worlds therein. Opulence, generosity, security, magnificence, liberty. And Alice B. Grist's intuitive meaning, you can grow your, and I accidentally wrote audience, but she put empire. Whatever you want out of life, you can create. Every experience can serve you well if you allow it. You can become a woman of the world in many respects and bring success to your own door. You can follow your passion and become comfortable within your own flesh and your material world. The beginnings of a powerful, worldly, wise woman. If you ever doubt your ability, let that fade away now. See how far you have come. Look at what you have embraced and make work. Look at what you have embraced and made work for you so far. You are a queen. Know yourself. And then looking at the Biddy Tarot, Bridget's meaning. Nurturing, practical, providing financially, a working parent. The Queen of Pentacles is a nurturing mother of the material world. At home, she shows her love for others by cooking nutritious meals, maintaining a clean and inviting home, and giving warm cuddles to those who need it most. She is also able to work a full-time job and make a financial contribution to the household, often as the primary breadwinner. She is masterful at taking care of the practical needs of work, home, and family, while also giving her love and support to those she cares about. When the Queen of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, you are embodying the ultimate working parent archetype. You care for your family and domestic responsibilities while also making a living for yourself and creating financial abundance. You can maintain a healthy balance between home and work by integrating the two and finding your place of flow and alignment. You strive to create a warm and secure environment for your family and loved ones while giving your love and support freely. Similarly, the Queen of Pentacles suggests that it is important for you to live independently, with a stable income and with enough time and space to also nurture your loved ones. You may be trying to strike a better balance between your home and work lives, giving it your all in both domains. At the same time, you find time for yourself and prioritize me time in between all of your other commitments. The Queen of Pentacles represents prosperity and security. You've worked hard to generate a level of financial or physical security, which in turn gives you the ability to be generous with others and to share your wealth and abundance with those you love. You have used your financial prosperity to build a comfortable home environment and are as focused on investing in your family as your personal wealth. This queen asks you to maintain a compassionate, nurturing, practical, and down-to-earth attitude when dealing with others and your present circumstances. Focus on creating a calm and balanced life for yourself. Be resourceful and practical, dealing with issues as they arise using straightforward solutions that fix the problem with minimal loss. At times, the Queen of Pentacles may represent a mother figure in your life who can provide you with loving support and nurturing to help you get through the influences of your past. She may be a teacher, a counselor, a mentor, or someone who you are very close to. Alternatively, if you are investing a lot of yourself into nurturing and caring for others and creating an established and comfortable lifestyle, she may represent a part of you. So that's what we'll be looking at this week. I'm so excited. The Queen. We're on the Queen already. So let me know how your week with the Knight of Pentacles was, and what you're looking forward to about your week with the Queen, or what your takeaway was. Let's further integrate that Knight and call in experiences that will deepen our understanding and integration of the Queen of Pentacles. With the Frosted Crystal Singing Bowl, you might want to close your eyes and get in touch with your breath. Beautiful. Coming back to the room in your own time. So, really looking forward to this week with the Queen of Pentacles. It feels like that was right in alignment, that overlap of looking for a counselor, right? A female counselor at that. So that might happen this week. Interesting the timing, right? How that flowed in. Because I didn't really read ahead. And also knowing that that's part of me that I've been working on and nurturing. So let me know in the comments. Put a crown emoji if you've watched this far. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your attention, your commitment to the process, and going on this journey with me thus far. I hope you're enjoying it. Experiencing some of that self-actualization and integration that we're talking about, and closing the gap, right, to some of these shadow archetypes that we haven't fully owned and embraced in ourselves, and we're experiencing them outside of ourselves. And if you want a personal session, or to reach out on other social media platforms or purchase any of the items, that's all linked in the description. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, Empath.